WandaVision series review. This is going to be our in-depth thoughts. Jason and I are going to let you know what we thought of this series. So for any reason you haven't watched any of this show or have only watched a few episodes, we are going to be talking about major spoilers. So definitely check out this video after you have seen this, or if you don't care about spoilers at all, then continue on watching it as you will. But we're going to be getting into it starting now. As far as I know, this is the first Disney Plus show, right, Jason, for Marvel, for the MCU?
I believe
So. The first two, I really got to say, I love the way they had the weekly. I know the first two episodes came out, 1, 2 right away, and then after that was weekly. I actually love how they did it. It added, a sort of charm and mystery to it, because each week we're like,
I think it helped it a lot because.
What's up?
The theories and stuff, and just thinking about each episode and them kind of leaving you on a cliffhanger. No, I think that the weekly thing for this actually served the show really well.
Yeah, no, and obviously, certain shows, like, I do love to binge. Like, for instance, Cobra Kai, I love that we get that, like, in a binge and we get to watch right away. It doesn't have, like, as many cliffhangers or theories and stuff like as a show like this would be. So I'm actually glad that they were able to do something like that, and it added a lot more excitement towards like just anticipating that next episode. So I'm really glad that they did that. Now, when we got into the first two episodes, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I knew Wanda was somehow controlling the state of affairs of what was happening, but I didn't exactly know too much of what was going on. But either way, I'm a sucker for sitcoms, and I Love Lucy, etc., Bewitched, and all those. I watched a lot of those growing up as a kid, so I was hooked right away. I know some people thought they were a little bit weak, those first two episodes. Obviously, when you rewatch the series as a whole now, those first two episodes, even though they were a little bit weaker in comparison, I'll definitely say that, to some of the stronger ones, I still thought it was a good anchor point to starting off the series, and I really enjoyed those first two. Really got me invested in the series as a whole. And obviously, as we kept on peeling the layers of each episode, it made a lot more sense, especially episode 8 really made sense now on why, Wanda uses sitcoms and that to suppress, all of her anxiety and stress and all the sad times she's ever had. Because that was really, that was a comforting thing for her when she was a kid, especially in Sokovia, which was a war zone, basically. And I love how they showed that in that episode, just, all the sitcoms that her father had in that chest.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people might not have liked those first two, but I actually really liked them, especially the first one. I thought it was really funny, like really dry humor, but very funny. And the thing I liked about it most was it was obviously a very like 50s and 60s feel, but you could just feel in certain moments like the really dark undertones, like when they're sitting at the dinner table and never again. And it kind of almost feels like she's talking to Wanda instead of the husband. And then even in episode 2, certain moments like with the beekeeper coming out of the thing, you're like, what is going on here? And then she rewinds the whole thing. So the whole thing is like shrouded in darkness, even though it's very kind of, 1950s esque. But I thought that just the mood of that kind of was really cool because, you're used to, like, it's like watching I Love Lucy, but like there's super dark and ominous feelings going on, which it was never the case. So I really like those episodes.
Yeah, for sure. And also we had that. If you're an MCU fan, I got to imagine you had some kind of investment into Wanda and Vision after what happened in Infinity War, like, and obviously with the resolve of Endgame after, she single-handedly almost took down Thanos on her own before Thanos, had them rain fire and to help him out. She was single-handedly about to take down Thanos. She didn't get her happy ending. She didn't get to be with Vision. So, like, to immediately get to that point, like, wait, what's going on? And then again, seeing how the layers just peeled back each episode. And I just love a lot of the different point of views we got to. I love when we get Monica's point of view on one episode. We get the whole sword point of view on one episode. We get to see Darcy from Thor and Thor the Dark World. I was about to say Thor Ragnarok.
It's funny. Like, I never liked her in the Thor movies, but in this, I thought she was good. Like,
yeah,
she worked for this one.
I know she annoyed a lot of people in the first Thor movie. Personally, for me, she didn't bother me.
More so the second one.
The second one, she really bothered me in, actually. That whole movie, other than Loki, bothered me. But she actually did a fantastic job in this series. I really liked her, and I love her dry humor. She was perfect for this show. And I really love that. I think it's Randall Park. I could be saying.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really think he's in the third Ant-Man and the whatever it's called. I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments. Like, not the Quantanium, whatever it's called. Quantumania. There it is, Quantumania. But I hope he's back for that. And yeah, I love his character. He's such a great addition to the MCU. That's the one thing I really love about the MCU. I mean, not only do they have great main characters, but the supporting characters are just so wonderfully crafted, and they get their big moments to shine, even though they're not as gigantuan big characters as like an Iron Man or a Wanda or something. They still get their moments to help out and really come to the rescue, if you will, if they need to in an episode. So. Yeah, for sure, especially Jimmy. But yeah, no, it's and of course we got to mention Monica Rambeau. I mean, obviously the first couple from episode 2 on to I think it was episode 4 or 5. I think it was we knew her as Geraldine, or till it was episode 3 or 4. I think it was
3,
before
I think
we got her
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when we saw that, I love that whole when we see her coming back from when
that was really cool.
In the blip. That was awesome. I mean, I knew when she was dusting back, I was like, whoa, is this the blip? When Incredible Hulk, and just the way they had it, now everyone's freaking out in the hospital, and then we hear about Maria, what happened with her with the cancer and all that, and I thought that was really cool.
Just seeing it from the rest of the world's point of view, because like that would be insane. Yeah, everyone just forming in.
Yeah, and we did get that little moment in Spider-Man: Far From Home at the beginning where they were showing.
It was almost like a joke, though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was more like it was played more for laughs, but this was like more of the dramatic take of it, which I appreciated that a lot, and so it was really cool. And also to be in a hospital when you're coming back, like that's that's gonna be a little bit tough, for anyone. I mean, wherever you come back from, obviously, is tough, but especially when you're in the hospital, like what the hell is going on here? But yeah, that was really cool. But just the character, I mean, Spectrum, she's awesome. I really like the actress who played Monica, and obviously we got to see Monica for the first time, of course, in Captain Marvel. That movie takes place in 1995, so she was a little girl. I'm kind of curious when we see her in Captain Marvel 2, what the rift between her and Captain Marvel is, because that's her hero.
There was obviously something. Well, no, there was obviously something going on between them, because every time they mention Captain Marvel, she's like,
she got mad.
Has a weird look. Yeah. So something happened.
Yeah, and
I'm sure we'll explore that.
I don't know if it's because. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna. I mean, Marvel, they don't ever forget things or let things go. So I don't know if maybe it's because Captain Marvel barely ever came back to Earth, and maybe she never forgave her for that. That's the only thing off the top of my head.
It might have something to do with her mom's cancer or something. Like they went out and did something, and she came back with cancer. I don't know, but
yeah, could be a combination of both. Who knows? I guess we'll definitely find out in Captain Marvel too. But that's going to be interesting seeing now how the little girl that. Looked up to Captain Marvel has even though we knew when we saw Captain Marvel she's going to come back and she's going to get these powers. We knew that, of course. But it's just going to be interesting from a character perspective when we see these two characters together, seeing that little girl have powers now, that almost, I don't know if almost match Captain Marvel, but she's definitely very powerful, as we saw. I mean, she was able to take a blast from Wanda and be okay. I mean, this is the same, person who almost single-handedly took down Thanos. And if you could take a blast from him and or blast from her rather and be okay, you're pretty damn powerful. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly the level of her like powerfulness as far as matching Captain Marvel. I guess we can see that later. That kind of plays into what I was just going to say, is that I know this is not her show, but I would like to have seen a little bit more of her powers, or her fighting a little bit more in that final episode, or at least in like some capacity. Because she didn't, other than stopping the bullet, she didn't really do anything.
Yeah, you're kind of right. That would have been cool if they would have done that. I mean, I get why they didn't. They wanted the fight more to focus on, the twins, Wanda, Vision,
Speaking of that, I thought the fight between the two Visions, where they actually just start talking about the philosophy of like that boat thing, I thought that was amazing. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
that
was
really
great.
Cool.
I agree with you. I loved all that. I was just a little. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna, tell us what happened, down the line, but I was maybe even Doctor Strange, even because Wanda obviously we know is in that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm curious what happened with White Vision because Mind Stone Vision from the Hex gave him his memories back, and then he just
bounced.
He just bounced. Like I would have thought he would have helped first and then left after
Well,
that. But
I mean, if he had his full memories, why wouldn't he go see Wanda at the very least? Like maybe he's in some kind of maybe he's in some kind of state of shock or something, or there has to be some reason.
Yeah.
But I think if it was truly himself, he would have gone to see her. But yeah, I don't know.
They'll definitely explore that and let us know what was happening on that. I kind of felt like I was talking with Greg Alba over at the Real Rejects the other day. We kind of like literally at the same time came up with the same conclusion. We kind of felt like the Ralph Boner, the Pietro, fake Pietro. It kind of felt a little bit like Iron Man 3 with Trevor Slattery, the fake Mandarin.
A little bit. I mean, I guess the answer could be chalked up to magic, but I was always thinking if it's not really Quicksilver, how was he that fast?
That's what we were talking about too. We were a little confused about that. Like, did she give him the powers to be able to move like that?
Yeah. I don't know. And is he really nothing? Were they really trolling us that hard, or is it something?
Yeah, either way, trolling us or not trolling us, I'm really glad that they got Evan Peters back. I thought
he was like in that Halloween episode. He was hilarious. I loved him so much.
Oh yeah,
that so great.
That episode was great. Yeah, especially that line where he said, "Hey, your husband can't die twice" or whatever, and then demon spawns, and then how the way he was interacting with his nephews.
I thought he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic in that episode. Yeah, and then
speaking of trolling, I don't know if you heard about anything beforehand where with Paul Bettany was talking about like there's some amazing actor that he's so excited to work with. Yeah, he's trolling everyone so hard. That's hilarious.
You know what? Yeah. Whatever. I mean,
one, I think it's funny, but two, I think he maybe got some people's hopes up a little too much. Like, oh, it's Magneto, or oh, it's Professor X, or something like that.
Well, the director of each episode, Matt Shankman, I believe his name is, he said like a week, like 5 or 6 days before the finale, he said like, all right, I'm gonna let Paul answer that. He kind of shot himself in the foot when he said that. I was like, okay, no, it's. I mean, we already saw the post credits for White Vision, so I was like, I mean, who else can be coming and that he's talking about?
I think once we saw White Vision, then everyone kind of was like, oh, okay, he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
But
so
anyway.
I mean, yeah, but I thought it was funny what he did. I know like you said, he got some people's hopes up, which whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Like, did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, this is just one show. We don't have to put everything in one show, you know, like they have plenty of time.
I respect everyone's opinion. You know, we've talked about this a million times. It's all subjective, movies and TV shows. But if you truly didn't like the show because you made up theories in your own mind, or you went on other YouTube channels and you heard theories of theirs, and because those theories did not come true, that's the only reason you didn't like that. I'm not saying I don't respect that opinion. I just think you set yourself up for a loss, because that doesn't make a good show. Whether your theories come true, was the show actually engaging? Did the characters have good arcs and et cetera, that kind of thing. I mean, did some of my predictions come true or not? Some did, some didn't. That doesn't equal whether I like the show or not. I mean, it's cool if I'm able to predict something or not. Like it's nice. You feel a little bit smart when you're able to predict something, but I mean, that doesn't take away my enjoyment if I like something or not. I like I said, I was hooked on the show from episode 1 and 2, and I just felt like it kept on getting better and better and better. Episode 8 was probably my favorite if I had to pick one, just going back to her memories and all that.
That's the one where they show Wanda's memories. That was a cool one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the series as a whole, I thought it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. It just again encapsulated why Wanda is, in my opinion, the most powerful, at least superhero, if you will.
She just got stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, she didn't even know what the hell she was doing in any of the other films. She didn't know how to use chaos magic or anything. Now she's studying the Darkhold. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And I mean, I was already really pumped to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, just because Sam Raimi is directing, and anything Sam Raimi does, I'm always interested in. And I've kind of, I mean, Spider-Man 1 and 2, especially Spider-Man 2, is one of my all-time favorite comic book films. And Spider-Man 3, I have a soft place in my heart. I think there's a lot of problems with it, but I do still have a soft place in my heart for that film. And I think he was done a little dirty by Avi Arad and Sony on that. So I really feel like this is kind of a little bit of a comeback tour for him in terms of like, you know, a little redemption, if you will. And after the series we just got with WandaVision, it got me encapsulated and more invested in what's to come with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm just really looking forward to that now. And also in terms of Disney Plus shows, I mean, I love what they did already with this first Disney Plus show, and now I'm really looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm really, and Loki too as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously WandaVision is its own kind of has its own style, and I envision the Bucky and the Winter Soldier and Falcon one to be a little more along the lines of like the normal
Simple.
Marvel, yeah, the more not Marvel style. Feeling it's just going to be like a long movie type of thing. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. I really liked how this one had its own unique style. I don't see the other ones being quite like this, but I'm so super excited to see.
Oh no, I agree with you. It's going to be interesting. I mean, we're not making this Falcon Winter Soldier video, but yeah, no, that's going to be interesting. And a lot of it's going to obviously be, even though it takes place after Endgame, a lot of it's going to take place with the consequences of Civil War. So with Baron Zemo and also with Sharon Carter is going to be on the run from everything she did for Cap and them. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward, and I'm glad we don't really have to wait too long. And then when that show's over, we immediately get to Loki. So I love what and the MCU and Marvel and Disney are doing, where they're just pumping out these shows right away. So whenever we are allowed to go back to the movie theaters, and and Black Widow comes out, and then whatever comes out, and I think the Eternals, could be wrong, but whatever other MCU projects are coming out, it's just now we're just that much more excited to go see these films. Even though anything MCU, we're going to be excited and we want to see, but now we're just itching that much more to see them. But I love this first Disney Plus series. It was great, and I think you said it best. I love how unique of a vision and tone it had in its own style. It was really interesting. I really, I didn't watch too much coming into it. I'm kind of adopted your method of not watching too much of trailers and stuff like that, unless, Greg from Real Rejects asked me to be on his channel to do a reaction. I just like going in clean slate where I don't know too much. Just because you're not expecting anything.
Yeah, like we were talking about before, tempering your expectations. And then, some movies and shows are good about not giving away too much, but some are just like, here, just look at all the best parts. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no, and understandable. They're trying to sell something, so it's understandable from that perspective. But yeah, no, look, I really dug this show, and really quick, I just want to mention where we're done with this video. Elizabeth Olsen is a fantastic actress. The range of motions she's able to display on her face. I mean, you can know exactly what she's thinking, or what's going on through her mind and just through her eyes. She is fantastic. She was absolutely brilliant in this series. And I mean, I don't know if she's going to get an Emmy nomination, but I wouldn't, I think she deserves one in my opinion. But
yeah, I thought she was
by
great.
the way, she's fantastic. She's
and I
really,
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I really love Paul Bettany too. Like,
yeah, he's great. They're great together.
They do. You really feel for them. But at least for speaking for Paul, like he just has a very funny, like witty kind of charm, and he plays Vision perfectly. Yeah. And then, like you said, him and Elizabeth Olsen have great chemistry. Yeah. Especially, I think one of my favorite moments is, when they're trying to have like a fight, and she starts rolling the credits, and they just keep fighting through the credits. Like that whole scene, and they both raise up and like kind of in the living room. I thought that whole sequence was like some of the best acted parts of almost all of Marvel. Maybe like that was really good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also the moment where she's tearing down the Hex, and then she has to say goodbye to Vision. He says goodbye to her. It was, again? This is so
just 3 times.
Yeah, but
I'm sure it's going to happen again.
Third time's the charm. But at least we know the White Vision is out there, and he's got, and he was given the consciousness again from Mind Stone Hex Vision. So
yeah, I mean,
you
no,
know,
Vision's not gone. He's obviously still out there. So
yeah,
we're gonna keep the
so,
longest tenure. We're gonna keep the longest tenured Marvel actor alive.
yeah. So hope maybe in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, maybe he's going to make an appearance in that. Who knows? You know, we'll have to wait and see.
I
That's
would
going to
think
be.
not. I think they're gonna wait, but maybe. I mean, I don't
We'll
know.
see.
We'll see. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I wouldn't predict that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Paul Bettany's not done. Is my
Oh yeah,
that's my prediction.
you can tell he definitely loves playing Vision. So I mean, he's great too. And yeah, no, I hope they keep him as Vision for a long time. He's great.
Well, yeah, now with Robert Downey Jr. gone, he's the longest tenured actor.
Oh right, because he played Jarvis in Iron Man. Technically,
Yep.
but yeah, and also his wife was in Spider-Man: Homecoming as Karen.
Yep, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Online, yeah. And they're the
Yep.
two voices in the costumes. Anyways, is there anything else you wanted to mention?
I think that's it. I really liked the show. Thought it was really well done, really unique, funny. I mean, I didn't need a whole lot of action in this type of show, so like I'm glad there wasn't too much of it. Just a little bit of that last episode, but which was fine. But yeah, I really liked it and excited to see what else is coming out from Marvel soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. There definitely wasn't a lot of action, other than, what we saw in that last episode, the last 20 minutes or so. But yeah, and also too, I mean, obviously I would have loved for each episode to be a little bit longer, but from a story and writer's perspective, I understand how difficult it can be to, each still keep the quality as good. So I thought the length was actually perfect. I thought the pacing was great in each episode. And I just, again, I love the unique style of each episode when we went decade to decade, sitcom to sitcom. I love that. I love also the way they really peeled back Wanda's backstory, and just she's such a tragic character. And Elizabeth Olsen really encompasses this character. She's actually one of my favorite characters now in the MCU.
Yes,
now that
good.
we've really gone through the backstory of Wanda, it's like. I mean, a lot of MCU characters have a tragic backstory. We know this, but Wanda really has a really tragic one. And I just thought they really, did it in a really smart, good way. And Elizabeth Olsen is just such a fantastic actress, and I just can't wait to keep seeing this character on the big screen, the little screen, whatever screen they want to put it on. I'm gonna watch. So,
Same here, man.
Can't wait to see her in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And also, we're definitely going to be looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So definitely be on the lookout for those videos. We're most likely going to be doing Easter eggs and references for that and some trivia if we can find it. We will also be doing a series review like we just did with this one. So if you guys don't want to miss out on that, please hit the subscribe button. Also, Jason and I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. It does help us out in the algorithm. So again, we would really appreciate if you could do that. Otherwise, we will see you guys on the next video.